All right, good day. Depending on where you find yourself, could be in the morning, afternoon, night, or evening. This is Kingdom Economic Forum, a forum that has been established to identify challenges in our society and come out with a solution. We don't complain, we bring solution. We solve problems from the root, not from the fruit. We want to thank you for the comment and the suggestion. And like was announced last week, we are starting this program on Sunny TV. We'll share the link with you so that in your spare time you can watch this program as was advised by some of you. With me in the studio, as we've told you, Kingdom Economic Forum is in partnership with the New African Concept, and Dr. Joshua Ponsafo, as always, is here for us to discuss. Last week we told you that we had a by-election and we want to discuss about this by-election. Is this something that we need to continue doing? Trust me, the Constitution has made provisions for by-election. I know about that. But look, it's to me, I think we have specialized in, when it comes to democracy, election is our strength. We are good in organizing election.
Yes.
And I think heaven is even aware of how well we do election. When it comes to election, we don't even depend on God. We are good at that. We use all means to get the results that we are looking for. And then we go back to sleep. The question is, over the period, have we succeeded in by-election? And like I mentioned, the Constitution has given provision, right, on that. But how we have run by-election, has it been helpful? Is that all the methods available for us to get somebody to replace? Before you continue, I want to also ask a question. When the president-elect, at any point in time, when he is no more, is not able to continue his step, do we organize by-election? And if not, why are we not able to replicate the same? But before we answer that question, I think that let's look at the constitutional provision and then the effect and what we have seen with our naked eye, the cost to the state and to the individuals and to the economy when it comes to by-election.
Okay, so thank you very much, Nana, and we are all warmly welcome once again to the Kingdom Economic Forum. Please don't forget to share the link and then draw the awareness of many others to join in this narrative. So today, by-elections, and we and elections, I think just like you said, it is one area. God knows that. As for this area, it is a no-go area. But we have really mastered it. And when it comes to democracy, that is an area it is almost like, for us, democracy is about elections to win power.
We don't care how much we will spend to get it.
No, as long as we are going to win the power. And it also shows the intent, because our quest to win power overrides the very quest to really develop the nation. It's like once we have the power, that's
okay. We are okay.
That is it. So we are going to expend every energy and everything towards it. So by elections, of course, just like you said, the Constitution makes room, or the laws of our land makes room, and it is only logically saying that whenever there is
a vacancy,
yes, a vacancy, because every constituency must be duly represented in Parliament, because the parliamentary or the legislative arm of government is the company of the legislators as they are lawmakers. So every constituency, ideally, we are all to partake, but we cannot essentially go to the halls of Parliament. So that is the idea of the legislature or the legislative, which is a very pivotal aspect of our democracy. So it is only logically saying that once there is a vacancy, as a result of the person absconding the position, or unfortunately there is the demise of that person, there is the need for us to have a representation. Now, what we have so far is that the representation now comes again by reorganizing what we call a by-election. So under certain jurisdictions or under certain places, there are other routes by which we can still get a representation. But with us, it is by engaging another bout of election, which we call by-election. By-election because we have the main or general election, and just like you have the main laws and then the by-laws. So this is also called the by-elections. The weight or the impact, massive, as we were sharing. One is on the national caucus itself. So that is as run by the EC. So the EC will petition or will table in their budget, which
exorbitant costs.
So we have to print ballot papers, we have to the security apparatus, and then
personnel
that are be deployed, everything till we have the declaration. It also has that cost. And the sad thing is that this amount of money, the constituency in question, there are several needs that they are struggling or they have, and some of them may be even very urgent. And those needs are kept with the political slogan, it is in the pipeline. We are working on it. We will attend to you. We will get back to you. But some way, somehow, we don't joke with this election.
No.
We are ready to cough out any amount of money that will help us to organize it. And then the need, we will attend to you. So one is the drain on the national caucus. And secondly is also the drain on the political or the political players. So once there is that gap, we are all struggling to have it. And because of the politicization of the election or the by-elections, because ideally the MP or the parliamentarian should represent the interest of the constituency, so that there should be the liberty given that, yes, I belong to maybe this fraternity, maybe NDC or maybe MPP, but on this issue that is on board that we are discussing, I have gone down to my people. I have had stakeholder caucuses with my constituency.
They don't do it.
And for this particular issue or topical subject, as a constituency represented by myself, this is our position, which may or may not align with the overall political party
that you belong.
This is the beauty of democracy. But for us, no, it is a wholesale. Once you have voted on the account or on the ticket of this political party, you are going by default. Once the majority leader tables in or your minority leader tables in, it is to chorus no. So the impact then is, it is a fight to the teeth. Because at the end of the day, we need the numbers. So the second thing is the burden on the political parties themselves. The monetary aspect.
They have to run the primaries.
Yes,
select,
at their level, and then also
the main election.
Select, and then also the whole machinery must come there. And then also the kind of thing that must go on. The agenda,
the ways and means.
The ways and means that must go on.
The violence.
At the end of the day, yes. And then the violence we have all seen.
Voter intimidation.
Yes, so especially using the machinery of governance. Because maybe, we are in government. So the intimidation that can
using the security force to...
yes, almost, at least we can say that 60% of almost all by-elections, we have these clashes where there is sometimes an abuse of power by the security apparatus and many other things that goes on. So that is also a burden. So one, with the national caucus is also being drained. Two, the political parties themselves also is being drained. And then also we've made mention of the politicization of the
Government machinery.
Of the government machinery. And then also there is the aspect of when we are the whole system comes to a halt pending the successful run of the by-elections. So whether it is the government ministers, the media houses, so sometimes there are very pressing issues to talk about. Once there is a by-election, it will override everything. It will override
the news that will come will be all on the by-election.
Yes, it will override everything. It will override everything. And so these and many others comes to express the weight of the effect or the impact.
Sometimes you are even looking for a minister. He says, "Oh, there's a by-election. He's gone to the place."
Oh yeah, so he has to be on grounds. He has to be on grounds. And once again, the politicization of it connects to what we were making mention of, that when the government in power, because he has a special interest in those, or should I say, in winning the person to his side.
Or the constituency, yeah.
Yes. So at the end of the day, what happens is that there is activated projects. Unplanned activated projects. Emergency projects. So we whip up Minister for Roads, we whip up, maybe
education,
youth,
agric. They say inputs here and there.
Yes, even maybe let's set up the DVLA with this current one. So there is a bit of an immediate thing. Now the question is it because we have the constituency so much at heart, or it is because we are pulling these strings to be in the good book of the constituency so that they can vote for us? So it means that it also clouds, anytime there's a by-election, it clouds the tempo at which the nation is also going. And that is why it is said in a funny way that if you want your constituency to develop, then you should be always praying for. Just imagine a constituency having by-elections every year.
Every year.
Oh, there'll be roads, there'll be projects, there'll be schools. Because once there is that context, something will happen. So the by-elections alone and how we organize the by-elections is suggestive of the fact that we have issues with our leadership and governance. If it will take by-elections to engineer swift projects at the constituency. And by and large, it is also a signal or a message that they are taking the people for granted. That is why it will take, and that is why we need to wake up. It is being said that the day you know you are chief, we must arise in consciousness that no, we cannot be taken for granted just as it is being done. So these are some of the impacts or the weights. And it has not really brought on board any significant change, though it has drained financially, emotionally, and then even people even die. There are accounts where there is death through some of these clashes.
By-elections.
Yes, through some of these clashes during the by-elections, which could have been averted if we consider exploring other avenues which will still bring about a representative, because that one is non-negotiable, but not at such a cost or expense.
So, as I mentioned, Kingdom Economic Forum, we look at the problem and then we come up with a solution. If you are an MP and you are listening to me, with what is happening in by-election, if you are not careful, your constituents will pray that you die. That's a risk to you. Because they know that whilst you are there, nothing is being done at the constituency. There is no development. But they have seen that, hey, when they were going to do Akwatia, when they were going to do the one they did last year, the one at Ascent North or whatever,
Ascent North, yes.
They saw the kind of development that took place. So for you as an MP, it's a risk to you. Because if your people realize that you are not doing well, they will either pray that you die or it's not good. I'm not saying it's happening, but it's cool. I'm just giving you the risk that you face. Yes. And we have used the by-election method. It has not worked. Government will attest to the fact that we have spent a lot of money. Another risk has to do with the tension.
Yes.
As if a Wiasi baby, then we have to call peace council to come in. How can we do this to ourselves? And strategically, the parties, they intentionally create that tension,
Yeah, they spark that.
They spark and then then everybody is running here and there. I think if we keep on using this method and we expect new result, it can be it's termed madness. There's a need for us to look for a solution. There's a proper way. And that is why we are here to discuss. Though, for the proper way, people have said, why don't we appoint the one who was second to take up? There's another one that says that, we can fix a date for by-elections. We wait, if we have more by-elections, then we do it together. And another school of thought says that the person that was selected among the political party. Why don't we go to the political party and give us somebody to come and just represent? These are the thoughts that are being run. I want us to look at which one. I know that every method will have the pros and cons, but
yes.
I think that I tend to, and I think you agree with me, issue of using the party appointment so that we don't have to spend so much. What is your take on that? And then let's expand on that one.
Exactly. So just like the various thoughts, they are all good efforts to drift from the normal narrative. Well, for the normal narrative, the cost is unbearable. The other point of waiting or maybe doing segmented by-elections, the chief limitation becomes because you cannot really preempt.
Yeah, you can't predict.
So, for instance, maybe there is a need at this point. You cannot tell that there's going to be 2 or 3 in the next 3. It could even be that for the next 3 years, nothing happens. So, what then happens? And there is the need for every constituency to be duly represented as soon as possible. So, looking at the various options presented, and just like we were saying, the third option seemed to sink a bit much more. So instead of the usual narrative where we have the usual by-elections, could we explore? And I think it also connects to the approach at the presidency, just like you tagged on.
Sure.
So today, if the president is no more for whatever reason, within 24 hours, the vice takes over. Even if he's traveling, there must be the taking over until he comes. I don't think that the demise of the president will require a whole national by-elections. You can imagine the tension, the extra money and things that will be, let's say, drained from that enterprise. So what do? We normally go in for and naturally the vice will also be representing, or is coming from the party. Yes, because it's the president that appointed the vice, or his running mate. Yes. So I believe we can replicate same at the constituency level, where upon the demise or whatever reason, if the parliamentarian is no more, then because the idea of voting during the general elections is that we are giving a 4-year mandate to the person who wins. And that person is also belonging at least to a particular kind of fraternity or body. So the best thing in this case would have been that since we have committed this constituency into the hands of a person or a political party represented by the person, if he is no more, then they should also look within themselves at their level to also appoint somebody to replace it, or to replace him or her. So in that case, the constituency is spared the burdens, the tensions. Our nation also is spared all those who breathe. Because after all, at the end of the general elections, we understood that whatever he is taking is running for the next 4 years. Until the next general election, then we decide that looking at your work or whatever, we want to either maintain you or go in for somebody else. So our recommendation here is that we should rather engineer a process that will not drain coffers, that will not stimulate unnecessary tensions, that will not stimulate emergency-based projects.
Yeah.
If you want to do projects for which you ought to do, have the heart of the people, or the needs of the people should be at heart, and then commit to doing it. Don't wait for by-elections, and then that approach to some extent is even a slap on the face of the people. It means that we do not value them so much, and that we want to just use them for our parochial interests. The way forward rather should be that the party to which the person is coming from, those, because we have in quote almost donated the constituency to them for the next 4 years, the remaining period they should do their own internal issues, appoint someone, and then let him or her continue from where the former person ended. The general elections, and now we can now open room for the usual context.
There's a question to that position that we are taking. Maybe we can discuss. In some places we have just independent candidate. How do we treat that? And then another risk to that is that, you know, is it Tamale South or whatever? The minister who died, his place.
The plane crash.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it South or Central? I don't know.
Tamale, yes.
Tamale, whatever. One of them. You know, the MPP says that they are not going to fill.
Yeah, they have refrained from.
Good.
Yes.
What is happening is that the number of people within the party.
About 12 or so.
So you see now, in fact, we are not going to push the competition to
the tension would be at the political party level.
At the political level, which I think it will say anyway. But I'm bringing some of these things.
Yes.
But even for that one, the party could have a solution where, but before the person was selected within them, they had somebody who was second.
Yes, because so they contested primaries level.
Except that they did not contest. But if there was, then so I'm raising a situation where there's independent candidate. How are we going to treat that? Another situation is that if we do that appointment from the political party, is it really a representative? These are somebody says it's like it's not too much
democratic. Yes.
These are options that are
completely,
you are bypassing the literate aspect. But we let's look at it and then.
Yeah. So with the second one, for instance, so if at the end of the day we voted for a 4-year mandate, so it is not so much out of place.
Yeah, sure.
If we get the political party in question to bring on board someone, because at the end of the day, they are the political party is having its own ideological framework that is working with. Yes, there are key entities or the personal people who, I mean, there may be biological variations, they may vary here and there, but ultimately it is going to be according to the template of the political party in question. So at those levels, that one can be left to the discretion of the political party, whether they are going to hold internal elections again, or possibly they can also supervise to maybe appoint, or possibly they could, and it is all part of the democratic. Democracy is not something election. It's not always election. Appointment is also part of the democratic. And that's why even at the national scale, there is still appointments being done. Like maybe most of the ministers, or it is within the appointment level. So it is not everything. We don't vote for minister for education. So would we say it is not a democratic process? No, we vote for the president. He appoints these ministers. These ministers are vetted and then empowered by the legislature. So we must not think democracy as everything being election. Appointment is also part of the machinery of democracy. So whether they are going to appoint or they are going to give the second one at their primaries, or if it was not contested for whatever reason, they are going to appoint or open room, I think that one is less tenuous then it is within the framework of the political party in question. Yes, the other side, which maybe we'll have to look at it in terms of reflecting more, is the aspect of the independent. Yes, because in that case, the independent is not representing a political party. Yeah, so I think it is one of the potential limitations of our standpoint, which also calls for deeper reflections. That, okay, since the person is not representing the interests of a political party, and of course, whether death or whatever issue it cuts across, anyone could be a victim. So in that case, what then do we do to represent the interest? Whether in that provision, it should be allowed that for in case of this and for that one, we may run a by-election, or whether we ought to take it at the end of the general elections. Definitely, they were in positions. So the independent one, maybe another person was second, and then another person was third. So for now, the suggestion may be that in the case of the independent,
these are
we should explore.
That's a point.
Because what it meant was, if we voted and then this was the percentage allocation, it means that the second in command would have been this person.
That's a point.
So it means our interest is that if this man was no more or did not contest, it is most likely this second person is what would have duly represented us. So we could give a provisional caveat that in case the person in question belongs to or is rather of the independent fraternity, then we should revisit the elections, which gave a 4-year mandate, and then the second person could be given the nod, and then it reduces all those kind of tensions. But we should get that appointment is part of election. Actually, elections there. Appointment is part of democratic principles and processes.
You are watching Az's Kingdom Economic Forum. We've tried to look at by-election. And our position is that we have tried using by-election. The way we are doing it is very costly, spending millions of cedis. It's so complicated that we are deploying thousands of police to prevent violence. We are a very sophisticated nation. The question is, we can manage simple, logical system that saves us from this chaotic one. We can. What we are proposing might cause us to make some amendment in our constitution. And the question is, change is always difficult. Until it is done. And remember, the 1992 constitution wasn't handed down from heaven. It was built by Ghanaians for Ghana. And if we have the will to improve our democracy, we can amend it. The question is, do we have the will to stop the violence and waste when it comes to by-election? As part from Kingdom Economic Forum, we're going to issue a paper on that. We will submit to the relevant authorities. Let us sit back and reflect. We believe that if there's any vacancy, as we do at the national level, let's look for the best way forward, where the party that won that area should just nominate somebody to continue the term that the person who is no more, so that we wait for the general election. Democracy is not only about election. Election is just a fraction of it. We should stop mastering election as the main means of democracy and look at the broader perspective. It's about election, or democracy is about development. Democracy is not necessarily equal to election. We need to understand that. Election is key aspect of it, but where there is a way to achieve the same result without spending so much resources, I think as a nation, we need to address our minds to that. We want to thank you. The floor is open for questions and comment. on this by-election. I know you have your view on that, but remember, that is why we have this Kingdom Economic Forum. Suggest a solution that will help us to become implementable by not spending so much. Look, once again, thank you.
Thank you so
for coming.
much.
Until we come your way next week. Next week is going to be interesting. We want to spend the coming 3 weeks to deal with issue of Galamsey. You know, as Kingdom Economic Forum, we haven't spent time on this, and we want to look at it and come up with a solution. You know what Galamsey is doing in your area. And maybe some of you have heard about it, but we want to go into the Galamsey issue, the causes, what is happening, and the solution that is coming from Kingdom Economic Forum. Until we come your way in the coming 3 weeks where we're going to deal with Galamsey issue. Visit our YouTube, Kingdom Economic Forum, or the Facebook. Whatever we have done is there. Go back, play, and listen, and I know it's going to help us. God bless you until we come your way. Bye-bye.